Good morning and hi everyone. You're welcome to another edition of the program, Knowing Bayelsa. I'm going to be your host for today. My name is Princess Ibegi, and with me here is the MD of the Bayelsa Airlines, Captain Ogbuku. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you very much for having me.
Okay, quickly, we have a few questions for you, to be able to set some setting of clarity and also to, put the facts out there for Bayelsa. So, sir, as the MD of the Bayelsa Airlines, what is the scope of your job?
Thank you. As the MD of Bayelsa Airlines, the scope of my job is managing any thing that relates to aviation in the state, in terms of in Bayelsa State. That has to do with both the plane and the helicopter services, and making sure that Bayelsa stands out in the aviation sector in Nigeria as a whole. Yeah.
Well, that's fantastic. Okay, let me just use this medium to, comment the fact that our airport, I think it's like the first to have a 3.5 kilometer runway, if I'm correct.
You are correct.
Okay.
You're correct. Yeah.
So we're like on top of it soon when it comes to aviation and all of that. Well, would like to know the economic importance of the airport to, the local Bayelsans.
Yeah, thank you. Economic importance to local Bayelsans. There's a lot of economic importance in terms of the airport, in terms of the geographic location. The airport not only bring in flights to come into Bayelsa, but the airport will stand as a security for the state. That's one of the most important things people need to understand. People think, airport is not viable, is this or that, But the thing is, once there is a security threat, the airport becomes number one priority in terms of evacuating its citizens.
Yeah, sure.
So we should consider that as number one.
Okay.
Number two, you need business. Gone are the days you only look at flights taking off and landing as a business for an airport. We're in a world today whereby you have to do other things that will complement and bring about more job creation, more business in terms of revenue generation for the state. And what we are trying to do to make it viable is we're moving from the shift of just having only flights taking off and landing. Last week I was in Lagos at SACO, which is the Skyway Aviation Handling Company. They are the best in Nigeria, if I would say, in terms of air freight, cargo handling. And we are trying to go into the cargo venture in terms of the airport. Cargo is a very good business, cargo handling, very good business for any airport, but you need to get it right. So it took the pains for me to go do a tour to actually know what we need to do in Bayelsa to get it right so that we can actually have good business in Bayelsa. And we know in all this, it talks about job opportunity. Job creation for our people. Revenue generation also for our people. And if you look at, when you say flight alone, Bayelsa Airlines, we have already investors that have come in and said, we want to invest over $20 million to acquire aircraft for Bayelsa Airlines that will be run, as Bayelsa Airline. To bring up the Bayelsa, how do I call it? A word that I'm going to use here now in terms of, you're bringing up Bayelsa to showcase to the world. Because not just like aero contractors or airpiece flying in and out of Bayelsa, but
this is a Bayelsa.
Yes, Bayelsa Airlines, with the Bayelsa flag and everything. It promotes Bayelsa State as a whole. It promotes the people of Bayelsa State. They are also interested in building maintenance hangar, which is, we call it MRO, that is maintenance, repair, and overhaul. In Nigeria presently, you have only aero contractors that have the certification to do a check on a 737. We're trying to do that to get it also in Bayelsa. Aero contractors cannot serve Nigeria, as we know, because it's only one company. So if we have it in Bayelsa, it means a lot of airlines, because every 18 months, an aircraft needs to do a C check. Every 18 months. And we have over 100 737s in Nigeria. And you have over 100 also of the general aviation, which are the smaller jets, which you know, in Lagos you have more than 30, in Abuja you have more than 30, just like that, you have a lot. So this brings a lot of business in terms of people flying into Bayelsa to conduct these checks, which now brings about the hotels thriving because you have a lot of flights coming in. It brings about, hospitality businesses and things like that. So those are actually part of the aspects we're looking at in terms of bringing business to make it economically viable. If it is not viable, you won't have foreign investors or private investors that are coming and want to invest $30 million.
Sure.
They've even designed the international wing already in terms of the terminal building. Foreign investors out of Nigeria, they've already actually designed it, and they want to run, they'll build on their own. We are not even giving them one naira as a state. They will build and they will run it, I think, on a concession basis. If they don't trust that we want to do something right, they won't come and invest.
They won't come, very true.
So that is, in terms of what we're doing, we're trying to get it right from the onset.
All right, thank you very much, the MD of the Bayelsa Airlines. Okay, for those of you out there, you can join us by sending direct SMS through the following numbers: 0706 840 5809 and 0701 193 8880. 0708 348 5732, 0805 608 5520. So, Mr. MD, we would like to know what influenced the location, the sitting of the airport at Bamasoma. Is it political? Because some persons might actually say that, these politicians, they have their reasons, they've taken it to there, and all of that. So could you try and clarify that?
Thank you. I'm a professional, as I normally say. And when we do something, we try to do it the right way. 2012, I remember the governor, I flew the governor. I was flying in aero contractors, and he said, okay, I need to come and be in charge of the aviation sector and develop all this. So it took us a 22-man committee in 2012, if you may remember, in terms of site selection for the airport. The report was that we should continue to support the federal government, then led by the President Goodluck Jonathan, at the Zarama area, that Yeradua Cargo Airport, if you know, on the east-west road going to Kayama. And I looked at the viability and I said, Your Excellency, it will not work. I advised him. I said, in 8 years, your first term, second term, you won't have an airport. You will invest, but you cannot sandfill a river to reclaim a river. How long will it take to reclaim a river before you now start to develop?
Okay, so for this, you're saying the terrain?
The terrain was the challenge at that time. So I did this survey in terms of going around Bayelsa to see which part of Bayelsa will be suitable. The part former Governor Alamesia bought in terms of at the same Amasoma axis would have cost ×2 in terms of sand filling. We now did a topographical survey and moved a bit. That survey saved us half the price of the sand filling. Wow. So it is not just based on political decision, it was based on the best and suitable location that will be viable for the state, that the state will not have to spend so much money in terms of investing in.
Okay, well, for those of you out there who try to say the governor had reasons, for taking the airport to Amasoma, well, like the MD said here, it has actually saved us a lot of cash, so thanks.
Thank you, brother.
Yes, so let me just quickly say funding. Even I myself, I actually need clarity on that. Some persons will say it's a federal government partnership. Some will say it's the state. Some will say it's purely federal. So I would like to say something on that.
Yes, concerning the funding of the airport.
Yes, sir.
Yes, as of today, presently, it is 100% totally funded by the state government. 100%.
Okay.
100% funded by the state government, because initially when we started, it was a joint partnership between the federal and the state. Federal, we were supposed to do the terminal building, we were supposed to do the sand filling, we were supposed to do power supply, the tower. These were part of their job description in terms of what they're supposed to do. We were supposed to do the runway and the navigational aid. That was the agreement that was reached at that time. But when we were not seeing the federal government presence, His Excellency decided that this is a Bayelsa airport. We cannot wait for federal government to come and do it for us. So we have to take the bull by the horn and we have to do it ourselves. So that's why he decided everything you see there, the power supply right from the gas turbine, direct line from the gas turbine to the airport. Because we don't want power interruption. Because in an airport, an aircraft is coming to land, final approach, just what happened in Lagos or Abuja some years back. Final approach, you're about to land, NEPA takes light, runway is shut down, the pilot cannot see. The dead of the night, maybe 2 a.m., international flight coming in. They have to divert to Lagos. Okay. And that cost the airline a lot of money because they will still have to come back later again. So, so we need a steady power supply, which we've actually direct from the gas turbine, and also a lot of power, like generators in terms of and solar system, so that we'll have 24 hours power supply at the airport. Okay,
well, I'm so sorry. I would like to take you back. You know, when they said it was federal government, state, stroke government partnership, was there anything in writing to that effect?
If you call it a gentleman's agreement, if I'll put it in that way, in terms of there was nothing like written on paper, but federal government even awarded the terminal building to CCCC. That's part of the challenges we are having today. We are even now doing a makeshift, which is the watchtower for the firemen. That's what we're using to convert to the ATC control tower. Because the federal was supposed to do the terminal building and the tower. But now the problem is, they've done piling already. But we've not gotten the details of where the piling is in terms of the whole radius. To know, okay, this is for the fire building, this is for the terminal building, this is for the control tower. So now we can't actually now do the control tower because we don't know where to get the information. Yeah. So we have to do a makeshift in terms of, okay, we can't wait for them. Yeah. So let's begin and do something for ourselves.
Okay, so let me say when it is completed, and
it is a state airport, not a federal airport. Let me give an example. You have Calabar, you have Jigawa, you have Capt. They are state-run owned airports because they built it. Yes. Bayelsa Airport is solely owned by the state and we run by the state. But the regulations in terms of Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority, the regulations which we follow in terms of the aviation sector, the federal presence must be there. Yes. It's just like an oversight function. They're there to monitor what you're doing so that you don't fall into error. Yeah. But the thing is that it is being managed and run by the state, not by the federal government.
Okay, all right. Well, for those of you on social media, Facebook, you can join this conversation by dropping your comments on the video via our Bayelsa New Media page. And Mr. MD, how many airlines does the Bayelsa Airlines, how many aircraft do they intend commencing with?
Okay, thank you. Bayelsa Airlines, we intend to start with 2 aircrafts, preferably 8-8 Q400 or ATR-42. These are 50-seater aircrafts. Turboprop. When I say turboprop, it's not a jet. Yeah. It's, the normal, you see aero contractors and overland. Overland, that's what they run presently today. Maintenance cost is lower. Okay. Operating cost is lower. Okay. So that, because we look at the challenges in terms of Bayelsa is a civil servant state. We don't want to charge people 40,000 to get to Lagos. Yes, true. We don't want to charge people 40,000 to get to Abuja. We need to take it to 20,000, 25,000. If you bring a jet to come and do that, you are running at a loss. If you bring a 737 to come, which takes 150 passengers, you have actually 150 passengers in Bayelsa that will be going maybe morning and evening. You have to consider that. The economic sense. Okay. is you get a smaller aircraft that can meet the need of the people. Once you are growing, business starts coming in, you start expanding from there.
Exactly.
So that is the idea that we have in Bayelsa Airline.
Okay, which is fair. So can we say in the real sense that just the two aircraft can actually service?
Let me, two is good enough. The Civil Aviation Authority, the regulation, NCAR, says you must have minimum of 2 aircrafts.
Okay, for a start.
For a start, minimum of 2. And let me give an example. As a pilot, by regulation, I'm not allowed to fly more than 8 hours a day. More than 8 hours a day, by regulation. So if an aircraft flies 8 hours a day, it doesn't stop a pilot, The aircraft can fly 20 hours, if I may put it in that way. But the pilot has a requirement, 8 hours. Okay, let's say from here to Lagos is 45 minutes, which we know is actually less. If you put a 737 on that route, it's 35 minutes. Abuja is about 45 minutes. So you do morning Yanagwa, Lagos, and back. You've done 2 hours, not so. You do Yanagwa, Lagos now, the next route, maybe Lagos, Abuja. You do 2 hours, that's 4 hours. You have another aircraft doing the same, in the evening.
Yeah.
It's 4 hours. Yes. So you've not exceeded any regulation based on, you are within the regulation and the specific, and you can actually even do more in terms of once the route is viable, you can add maybe Calabar. You can add Benin from Yanagwa. You can add Equatorial Guinea, Sao Tome and Principe. They are just 25 minutes from Bayelsa. It's one of the closest places you get to. You are at the Sao Tome and Principe. So you can add those routes which are actually viable, yes, into the Bayelsa airspace, and you generate revenue from that aspect also.
That's beautiful. I would like to say, I don't really know for say, but when the airport is located in communities like that, like ours is right now, we seem to foresee some community crisis that may arise, as a result of the location. Some people saying, okay, we're supposed to get this, others say we're supposed to get that. I don't know what the state government, is putting in place to curb or, handle such that may occur.
Yes, when the airport will be run fully, when we start operations, yes, we know that even in Port Harcourt today, even in Lagos today, you have the same issue of community problem. But the management of the airport is capable enough in terms of dealing on daily basis, We have methods which we are discussing even with the federal agencies fund. They're giving us ideas the way they are managing other airports in Nigeria. So I cannot specifically come and say it openly here. It is something that is private, but there are ways you can use to mitigate and reduce that restiveness of the youth and community coming to try and disrupt flow of traffic that comes to the airport. Because yes, we've been encountering that, as you know. It's all over the news. Time to time, compensation, they come and they block the airport access. You can't even get to Amasoma and things like that. The government is working hard to pay the last. I think it's very few, something almost negligible in terms of compensation that is remaining. So once that is done, any time from now, any other thing will be community coming, maybe jobs or this or that. They come and give one or two issues, but we should be able to handle it. Shouldn't be a problem.
Okay, so we should say that it's an ongoing process to ensure that activities that might go on in that route won't be stopped and all of that. Okay, well, we'll soon be coming to the close of the program. For those of you who want to be a part of this, you just go and like the Bayelsa New Media page. You can drop your comments, you can drop your questions, and it all be attended to. Well, before you leave, I would there's a public notion, people out there have. They say, in terms of priority, the airport shouldn't, have come first. Possibly the state government should have been able to, handle other things which seem more important. So, as the MD of the Bayelsa Airlines, I would actually appreciate, if you throw more light on this, and then giving those out there the assurance that it is not just about telling them that we need this airport as soon as possible.
Thank you. I don't want to put mixed words or something when someone might say, the airport, we don't see the economical viability or the importance or why it must come now. Someone that will say that it's not futuristic in terms of having the future at the back of his mind, in terms of what do we want to achieve as a state in 10 years from now. If you don't have an airport, you are limiting yourself. You are going to be backward. An airport is the gateway to prosperity for a state. It's as simple as ABC. If you have an airport, it means you are going to develop faster. Go and look at Lagos. Was Lagos like that before? It is when the airport came in, all those places around Lagos airport was empty. But today, you have seen people encroaching and building up to the threshold of the airport. So it is that brought about development. Look at the amount of investment going on in Lagos today. It is as a result of that initial investment of an airport. So we all need it so that we can actually develop. We want to see ourselves better than Port Harcourt. We are actually doing our airport to be better than Port Harcourt. Even the regulators that have come in, they've seen it. And they have told us that yes, we are even getting it the right way. There are only 2 airports in Nigeria that are certified. Lagos and Abuja.
And we are third?
We are starting the process of certification. Once we get it, it will be the first airport in the South-South that will be certified. The first privately owned airport in Nigeria that will be certified. It brings business to your state. Why I say it brings business is because foreign airlines need that certification. Let me give you an example. You have Lufthansa, you have Air France landing in Port Harcourt. Port Harcourt is not certified. Port Harcourt is a category 1 airport. We are making our airport a category 2, which will be the safest airport in Nigeria. And now you are now being certified. It means Lufthansa prefers to come and land in a place that has more safety and you meet the requirement and the regulation. So they prefer to come and land in your own airport. So we are trying to do that so that let Port Harcourt learn a lesson that we are coming to take their business. Because we are going to do that at the end of the day. That's the whole idea.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Well, we have a question from a viewer out there, and the person wants to know, as regards the Bristol operations, to be specific, they said before now, Bayelsans were asked to apply for different airport-related employment opportunities. So, have they been employed, or what is the ongoing process, to that effect?
Yes, there are 2 questions there. Let me answer the first one first. About the Bristol, the seaplane. Yes. Not the helicopter, the seaplane.
Yeah, the seaplane, yes.
Yes, we are waiting for approval from the Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority because Bristol changed in terms of the landing spot, which was supposed to be the Oxbow Lake. But right now, they said they prefer, in terms of safety, to land at the river by the heliport, back of Government House there. It is safer for them to land there and take off there. So we need to do some certain work there that once His Excellency is back and approves, we do the work there because the Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority has already come in. They've seen the spot. We've showed them the spot that Bristol has indicated interest in landing. So they've seen it. We are just waiting for approval from them and also approval from His Excellency in terms of doing 1 or 2 works that will meet the requirement of Bristol for us to be able to use that place for the landing of the seaplane.
Yeah, okay, so I'm sorry to cut you in. So are you saying that the terminal has moved from Oxbow Lake?
Yes.
Okay. So
it is now going to be, the heliport will now be the processing terminal for both helicopter services and the seaplane. Yes. So it will no longer be only for helicopter services anymore.
Seaplane.
It will be for seaplane
as well
as the helicopter services. And mind you, we need to talk a little bit about the heliport before I even answer the second question. The heliport is something that is the safest heliport in Nigeria, mark my words. Even the NCA, the Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority, has confirmed that. It is safest. There is none like our heliport in Nigeria. I'm not talking of in Nigeria. It's the safest. It's the best in terms of facilities that we have. If the weather is bad, a helicopter can make an approach to land. We have what we call the instrument, that is precision approach path lighting system, which guides the helicopter to know if you're too high or you're too low, so that you don't go too low and crash or go too high and you pass the facility. So that is a precision approach which normally airports have to guide the plane also to come and land.
Yes.
We have that at the heliport. We have all the requirements from the oil companies. That is why IGP is using our facility today.
Yeah.
We have all the requirements because they came for inspection, and when they saw what we have met more than their requirements. That is why they are comfortable using it anytime they are doing any operation in Bayelsa. They use it because it's safe.
Yeah.
That is it concerning that. The second question is about the training.
Yes.
We finished in terms of the process of the people that passed the exams. Yes, it has been shortlisted. It's only we're just waiting for the approval of His Excellency. Yes, and once he has the present situation as that we find ourselves, once he's able to and he approves, then we'll send them to school.
Wow.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for the knowledge you've shared. Those of you out there, you now know Bayelsa State has the best heliport and then the third safest airport in Nigeria. Okay, so we have another question from an online viewer, and he said, is the Bayelsa State Airlines in partnership with any other airline?
With any other airline? No, we are not in partnership. No. What we're doing, we have a lot of discussions right now. We're having with Overland, we're having with aero contractors. In terms of discussion, preliminary discussions, not concrete, and also other investors that I said that want to buy the aircraft of Bayelsa Airline. Because the discussions we're having with other airlines is so that they can come and start flying the route when we are ready. But if you have an investor that is willing to buy the aircraft for us, then why do we need them?
Okay.
We tap into that and make business for ourselves as a state and generate revenue.
Okay.
That's all I did.
All right. So for now, there's not been any partnership.
No partnership.
Whatever that may exist, they're still in the pipeline, if I may say so. Okay. So really appreciate you, Mr. Emily, for the time spent here, and then for the bulk of knowledge you've been able to share with us. And then for those of you out there, thank you for watching the program. We'll be back by 12 o'clock for the second section. Thank you.